Hopefully you're having a great day, and if not, I hope that from here on out it gets better. Now, there's only 4 possible options in my head. At least that makes sense in terms of what we could see for a Part 2 LR for JP's current celebration. Now, these 4 choices I would like to run through you. I would love for you to let me know what you think, and if there's any other options that could potentially be missing, please let me know in the comments section as well. But whatever LR we get right now for JP's Part 2, again for this Kale celebration, will impact global, because it will be the last banner, the last LR to arrive on global before the anniversary, and Kale will be dropping after. And just to prove that to you really quickly, Kale falls in that, you know, April time slot where, like, maybe 2 years ago, just like Kale did, Kale dropped on the 1st of, sorry, not Kale, not Khalifa either, Videl dropped on the 1st of April, and Videl's Part 2 LR was Tapion and Minosha, dropped again the 15th of April. But as you guys can see, you know, global's anniversary is in July. Tapion and Minosha dropped in June for global, and then Videl dropped on August for global, so after the anniversary. It's just one of those time slots where things are a little bit weird for global. So global will be getting Kale right after the anniversary, but the Part 2 LR will be actually arriving before the anniversary. And I saw something on Twitter where it was like, whatever LR we get, it probably won't require the medals, or, you know, any potential Kale medals, you know, medals for this to awaken this Kale, because we won't have this Kale in the files just yet, which makes a lot of sense to me, at least, right? So whatever LR we get will not be using medals for any specific Kale character, which means Part 2 LR may not even have Kale in it. But again, we'll see. I also want to point out just another quick thing of proof. Last year's April Fool's unit was Dokkan Festival Raditz. He definitely was an April Fool's character of all time. I think we can definitely agree there. But again, he dropped after the anniversary last year for global, but his Part 2 LR, Physical Goku and Piccolo, did drop before global Dokkan's anniversary in June. So, you know, hopefully you guys can see the pattern that we are establishing here. But let's talk about what we really want to talk about, which is the possible Part 2 LRs for Kale. Now, the first one that comes to my mind that I'm just going to throw out here, even though I said I don't think it'll, you know, there's going to be a Kale, I do see the possibility, especially with, you know, Dokkan adding specific, you know, characters recently that may or may not have really fought together in specific scenes and fights and whatnot. Dokkan doing their own Dokkan original stuff. I could really see a, you know, trio LR of Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale, where maybe they're in their base form, maybe for a super attack or 2 they transform, maybe, right? It could resemble something like AGL Gotenks. If I pull up AGL Gotenks really quickly, using something like, are they on rapid growth actually? I don't know. They are. Perfect. Okay, so AGL Gotenks here, or not AGL Gotenks, but Goten and Trunks here, they transform and look different depending on which, you know, super attack you get. So what if, for example, if you get like their 11 key, maybe their 10 to 11 key, then they end up, you know, doing just a base form attack. If you get their 12 key and beyond, they go Super Saiyan. And if you get their 18 key, Kaba goes Super Saiyan 2, Caulifla goes Super Saiyan 2, and Kale goes Berserk or something like that. And maybe the medals that are required are medals that don't really involve, you know, maybe she doesn't go Berserk at all, right? Again, I don't know, but anything that won't require the medals for AGL Kale here. But I do like this option. As I spoil the next one, I do like this option. It makes sense to me as something that's not going to be incredibly hype, but something that it feels like it's right up Dokkan's alley, if that makes sense. But of course, the next option, I mean, Kefla, dude. I mean, this, to me, it's time. To me, it's time. You know, Dokkan and Legends sometimes are very synced up in the sense that characters, very similar characters, when I say similar, I'm meaning in terms of like name, not by kits or anything like that, or abilities or whatever. But sometimes Dokkan and Legends have some mirror releases. Like whenever there's like a blue Goku on Legends, you know, there's sometimes that Blue Goku will end up dropping on global, you know, either sooner or later. And a great example would be how the Legends had that LF, you know, Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta reveal for what, like Legends Festival 2 years ago. And then what the anniversary for global for Dokkan's anniversary ended up being the Blue Boys, right? The 7th year gods that transform into blue. So we have some similar releases, and this literally was just a free-to-play unit over on Legends. So you never know, right? You mean, this is just never know. I think LR Kefla, I think it's finally time. LR Kefla does feel like a yellow coin LR to me. I mean, you can definitely make the case that she feels like a red coin LR, maybe even like a carnival LR. I get that 100%. But there's just so many Dokkan Festival Keflas already. Like we have the Transforming Tech one, we have the STR one, and we have the, well, I guess a physical one isn't a Dokkan Fest, but you get the point, right? So regardless, I think LR Kefla could definitely be an LR that definitely entices people to summon, especially right before Global's anniversary. These are the first two, and probably my top 2 picks. And speaking of Legends, right, how this was a free-to-play character, another character that released recently on Legends that has to do with Universe 6. You guessed it, that's right. Hit, the GOAT himself, the man who deserves an LR the most out of everyone here. Now, I guess you can argue, oh no, Mr. Reddy, Kefla needs it more. That's cool. I value your opinion, you're just wrong, because Hit is the GOAT. Hit is the GOAT of all GOATs. He is more disrespected in this game than Kefla. Therefore, he is more deserving of a better unit. And right now, we need an LR. There's an empty LR slot. So Hit, please step up and take I would love for Hit to get an LR in Dokkan and have some type of really strong, you know, new mechanic. Something similar to what Legends got, right? But I don't really know how it would work in terms of Legends, you know, code and functionality. But the point is, I really want a new LR Hit in Dokkan, and this does feel like a perfect opportunity to get it, right? Hit is I don't know, right now to me this just makes the most sense. So right now we have Hit, Kefla, and again it could be any form of Kefla, as well as Kaba, Kale, and Caulifla. And my last option here that I do think could become a thing is going to be this Jiren right here that ended up clapping Kale like this. This would be an amazing KO screen right here. That would be an amazing KO screen. You know it, and I know it. And if there's this is like the most poetic option, right? Like Kale comes in Dokkan, she's absolutely destroying everything. She's so freaking good. Oh my goodness, we love Kale. Boom. Part 2 LR, Kale gets obliterated by this new LR Jiren. LR Jiren is a character, or just Jiren himself is a character that deserves more love in Dokkan. I would agree. I mean, his tech LR here is definitely not a bad one at all. His STR Jiren is abominate, bro. Please easy A this guy, for God's sakes. Anyways, so this actually could be an opportunity, right? You give him an LR, you easy A this guy, and we're good to go. And he doesn't really have to be a transforming character. He's just LR base form Hit, which allows him actually to link up with this bad boy over here, because this guy is, you know, the full power Jiren. So linking wise, there will not be any issues there. And yeah, so if I had to order this in terms of which ones I wanted to see the absolute most, I would actually put Jiren here, because I'm picturing this as like a KO screen, right? And then I want to see Hit, and then Kefla, and then probably this, in terms of like what I personally want to see the most, or what's most hyped to me. I think these 4 are very possible solutions, but I also think it's worthy to mention that the Part 2 LR doesn't really have to be themed around Kale, Universe 6, or even Tournament of Power itself, right? Like just what I showed you, the STR Videl was literally, I believe she was a Majin Buu Saga. Was she? Okay, hold on, let me check, because there's no way she was a movie heroes unit, right? Let me pull up Peppy Gals. Let me just fact check myself real quick. So Videl here was Majin Buu Saga, yeah. And the Part 2 LR to Videl was LR Tapion Manosha, which hold no resemblance whatsoever. in my opinion. But I mean, like, what part 2 LR do you release around a Videl, right? And similar with like Yamcha. Yamcha's part 2 LR had nothing to do with Yamcha or anyone Yamcha knows. I guess it's, you get the point, right? So it's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be around Kale, but we also can't ignore that last year was Raditz, and then those who fought Raditz, right? It was Dokkan Fest Raditz, and then LR Goku and Piccolo who fought Raditz. So what if in this case it's Kale, and then who did Kale fight? Many people, but most notably Jiren. So that's just kind of like the basis I'm working it off of. But I will also say that the last time we got some type of Kale or Caulifla character, the tech one right here, the part 2 LR was LR God, Goku, and Hit, and to my recollection, they did not fight Kale and Caulifla, so it doesn't really have to be, you know, the part 2 LR is fighting the part 1 LR, right? It just could be another Tournament of Power buff, and if that's the case, then everyone is fair game, right? We could, for all we know, get like a blue Goku that goes into UI or something crazy like that. Definitely not gonna happen, okay? But just, I'm putting it out there in the universe just in case, okay? But listen, it's probably not gonna happen. Most likely not gonna happen. But yeah, so if we're going to go off the logic of, okay, well, listen, I mean, they can jump whatever they want, which they definitely can, then anything is fair game. But I will say here, these 4 are the most likely choices, and I can't wait until one of these become true so I can say I guessed it, or you can say right now that you guessed it too if you comment all 4 of these. You know, basically save the date. All right, try to become with me. You know, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but what I do know is I appreciate you for watching. I can't wait to see what the part 2 LR is going to be, and I can't wait to be right, unless I'm wrong. And then if I'm wrong, then it is what it is. We'll try next time. All right. Anyways, I appreciate you. Take care. Part 2 LR is going to be very hype because Tournament Power itself is incredibly hype, and I think anything they release will definitely bring a little bit of more enjoyment to the fans of Tournament Power. And again, this is a category that needs love. Even though you see a lot of characters here, there isn't really much. For everything we received, for every single little fight that happened, this is not enough, in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.